Used to be a international shampoo salesperson, didn't you?
I did indeed, yes.
International shampoo seller to international paraplanner.
Yes, yeah, quite the change.
Well, look, I must have seen something in you because, like you said, you came out here and in a very short space of time, you're now managing the Paraplanner team.
Correct.
For the UK, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's a really good time to actually join the business.
Yeah, fantastic. The fact that the UK is growing as much as it is at the moment with the acquisitions that Jonathan's doing, it's a great time to get into the business, get stuck in and show your worth.
I can imagine it being very difficult or tough to do a paraplanning role when you are dyslexic, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of elements that you've got to be able to concentrate on multiple different things. I find now I know exactly what I'm looking for. It almost jumps from the page.
Ever thought about becoming a financial planner?
It's been on the cards. It's something that I've thought, maybe why don't I take that step? But I love paraplanning. The paraplanner's not there just to take orders from the advisor, like say, this is where I want to move this pension. It's we have to read the whole meeting, speak with the advisor and understand the client's situation. And then we discuss what the best outcome for that client is.
So much for joining me on the Hoxton Life podcast. How are you?
No problem. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Good man. Good man. Right. Well, we've known each other a little while now because you came out around about the same time as me, didn't you?
Yeah, mid-August. Yeah.
Yeah. You moved to family as well.
Indeed. Yeah.
How's that going?
It's going well. My daughter's absolutely loving it. I think that's the biggest benefit. She's outdoors all the time, loving school. My wife is enjoying it. She's working from home, going swimming midday, so can't complain.
Can't complain. So I decided to live in the marina, chuck myself into probably the most expensive area possible, and now I'm slightly regressing it because everywhere I turn, it's like living in a theme park.
Yeah.
And I have to spend money, and I've just really kind of like had a bit of an anxiety meltdown these last few weeks about just how expensive it is.
It's
but
a shock.
It doesn't have to be that expensive. No. I'm making silly choices, by the way, and I'm doing that whole kind of reflective thing at the moment and budgeting and working it out. But you chose to go more towards like the communities end, right? So
yeah.
Bang in the city, right next to JBR. You're more outside of the city. How is that?
It's lovely. I mean, we started in JBR as well, just down the road from where you are, in an apartment, and it was just hectic. It was busy, like you say. It was like a theme park, tourists everywhere. And we decided to move out to Villanova, which is out in Dubai land. It's quite a big community. You've got your own mall. You've got everything you need. It's greenery, grass areas, parks for the kids. And it's just quiet. Like when you're in the garden, you don't think you're in Dubai.
Really?
So it gives you that peace of mind.
Yeah, we just went to a lovely hotel in the desert actually, and it was peace and quiet.
Yeah.
You could hear birds.
That's it.
Wow.
You can hear the locusts or cricket cicadas, I think they're called.
Yeah.
And you can just hear those chirping all day, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, fantastic. Slightly jealous actually. I think once my 12-month tenancy is up, I don't think I'll stay in the marina. I think I will move to one of the communities. They call it a community, right? So is there a community feel there?
100%. Like they've had Halloween party, a Diwali party. Everyone's invited. There's lots going on. Community barbecues, sports clubs. You can go play tennis. Like there's loads going on. Really gets you involved in the community, gets you feeling like you're part of something.
And does you feel like you want to be involved as well?
Yeah, definitely. There's loads of, like, you've got people from all kinds of backgrounds. There's English, French, multicultural. You're meeting families with all different aspects.
Yeah. And how about your daughter enjoying school?
Yeah, she's absolutely loving it. She's just turned 4.
Yeah.
So we had a birthday party, invited her friends. So normal birthday party back in the UK would be inside a church hall in the rain.
Yeah.
This time was a bouncy castle in the garden. 8 of her friends came round, fairy party, unicorns, the works.
What did you think about the old paying for school side of things? Did that give you a bit of a shock?
It was a shock, but it was something we were considering doing in the UK anyway. Considering how expensive nursery fees are, private school for the next stage was actually going to be cheaper than nursery. So we would have had money back, not as much money, and now we are paying slightly more, but it's 100% worth it. She's one of 13 in her class.
Yeah.
So the teacher to student ratio is unbelievable out here.
What school is that?
Durham.
Nice.
Durham College. It's a sister school. So there is one in Durham in the UK.
Yeah.
And the headmaster is of both.
Oh, fantastic. My daughter goes to Arbor,
Yeah.
which is like this kind of eco school, and it's got these eco domes.
With the turtle as well, or tortoise.
Galapagos tortoise, walking around. But when I went there, I was just blown away by it. The actual layout of the school was beautiful. They even had like cognitive colouring throughout. So as you walked through the rooms, I was like, why is it so chilled out in here? It's like, it's really chilled and everything's really tidy. I was just like, why is it so tidy?
I think we looked at that, and I think they had a thing called Mud Mondays.
Right.
In FS1, the kids just to get to play with water and mud all day Monday. That's it. So it's we applied to it, but we didn't get a space. And then after she'd got into Durham, they did say there's a space, but we were set on Durham at that point.
You'd done it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm into it. Isabella's really enjoying it. She's making lots of good friends. I mean, like, we pay for the school bus, so it comes and, coming in and out of the marina every day would be really a nightmare. So we just paid for the bus. So it's been a really good experience for her. And she seems like she's growing. She seems like she's enjoying it. I mean, it's leaps and bounds ahead of where she was in the UK, without a shadow of a doubt, you know, and she'll say, oh, no, I miss the UK. And it's like, no.
Theodora says the same. She says she misses the rain, misses the snow. I've seen pictures of snow at the moment. So I said I'll take her to Emirates Mall and we can go and see the penguins, which is quite a bit different than the UK options.
Isn't it a penguin cafe?
I think so, yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, let's get on to the actual podcast itself. It is about careers within financial planning, especially within international space. It's about your life here at Hoxton. You've come from the UK over to Dubai to work for us here at Hoxton Wealth. So what were you doing in the UK and what are you doing here now?
So I was paraplanning back in the UK. I worked for Investec, and then I'm doing the exact same job here at Hoxton, but now head of paraplanning. So managing a team of 5 other paraplanners who are based in the UK, but from Dubai.
Nice. So little promotion.
Yes. Yeah. Big promotion. It's a exciting time for me, a big opportunity. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Well, look, I must have seen something in you because, like you said, you came out here and in a very short space of time, you're now managing the Paraplanner team.
Correct.
For the UK, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. So I just want to make that clear, like the difference between paraplanning over here, say, as an international paraplanner to being a paraplanner that focuses on the UK. What's the main differences that you see?
So I'd say the main difference back in the UK, a paraplanner is you're doing the research, you're doing the report writing, you're not necessarily speaking to clients. Yeah. Some firms will allow you to sit in meetings if that's part of your career journey, you want to become an advisor. But out here in Dubai, I would say the paraplanner is more like a trainee financial planner. Yeah. They're taking charge of meetings, doing fact finds, writing up meeting notes, doing everything that a financial planner would, but not necessarily focusing down on the research and report writing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've seen that, and it's very interesting because you've got the trainee wealth manager role. And I love about the trainee wealth manager role is it gets them stuck in at the deep end in respect of picking up the telephone, phoning through leads that are coming through the website, qualifying people that have shown an interest, trying to dig a little bit deeper to find out whether or not they need financial planning services and then introducing it to the client, to the advisor, but also managing that part of the process as well. So they get 100%. Stuck in with quite a lot.
I think that works really well for someone who hasn't got any financial services experience. They come fresh into the door. This is how you learn. Whereas a paraplanner from the UK, you've probably been an administrator. You have a full understanding of the financial planning process. So potentially moving into a paraplanning role in Dubai as a trainee planner is the next logical step.
Do you know what? Like, the more I'm speaking to the paraplanners out here on the international side, that makes total sense because that's another really, really good route. Yeah. Because there are some really exceptional paraplanners in the UK that just need to step into that role of becoming 100%. An advisor, but they don't want to go out here and build a client book. They don't want to start and build a client book from scratch in the UK because it's really, really hard. Now, aligning yourself to one of the international advisors over here and having that autonomy to work with them a little bit closer and to start working with clients.
Yeah, you start as like a servicing advisor. You're booking in meetings, you're there as the client liaison. If they need anything, they contact you rather than going straight to the advisor first. Yeah. So it builds your confidence in speaking to clients, how to deal with clients, being involved in meetings. And it's just a great opportunity, obviously, living in this place, doing that job. It's exciting.
So you're looking after the UK clients then and the UK Paraplanner team. Does that cause any sort of problems for you being over here in Dubai then doing that?
Not really. Obviously, the time difference is an issue sometimes, but the way that we live now post-COVID with Teams, WhatsApp, everyone's contactable all the time. No matter if I'm on my way home, I can call someone from the car. I can log in when I get home on Teams. We can call. There's no issue really.
Yeah. What about other qualifications? Because, a lot of the advisors out here have got Australian qualifications. I mean, some of them are studying this new degree that you have to have in Australia. You've got individuals with Series 65s to be able to give advice on American clients and assets. Has that sort of piqued an interest in you starting to delve into the international client scene?
It has a little bit. I've picked up some paraplanning for Chris Ball, working on some of the US clients. It's new to me. I didn't understand the retirement options for clients in America, how it works. So I had to go and do some research into it. And it is exciting, the opportunity that's out there for America. And obviously report writing and paraplanning in America as well is probably quite big.
Yeah. Any distinct differences between working for Investec and working for Hoxton Wealth?
Hoxton Wealth is much busier, I would say. You've got that startup energy. Everyone's excited. Everyone is knuckled down and working hard from the minute you get in to the minute you leave. you're not looking up from your desk sort of thing. It's a good atmosphere to be around and a good buzz. Investec it's a very established business. The processes were slick, everything was smooth. We knew the client journey from A to Z. But here at Hoxton, it's all kind of everything's ever changing. If you have good feedback, they're very welcome to receive it and action it almost immediately if it works.
I mean, it's a really good time to actually join the business.
Yeah, fantastic. The fact the UK is growing as much as it is at the moment with the acquisitions that Jonathan's doing, it's a great time to get into the business, get stuck in and show your worth.
With that kind of startup feel that we have here at Hoxton Wealth, what does that sort of instill in you?
I think it probably gives me the energy and the buzz that maybe I lost in the UK. I find the UK paraplanning, it can be quite slow. You're working for big industries that have been established for many years, and this is the way we've done it and this is the way we're going to do it. Whereas at Hoxton now, we've just introduced an AI meeting bot that's going to be recording meetings and producing meeting notes for us. They're very interested in technology, obviously with the app. Everything's moving in that futuristic generation, and to be a part of it and grab onto the coattails is an amazing opportunity.
Fantastic. Technology for you, does it excite you?
Yeah, it does. I don't really understand it. I'm not a massive techie myself, but seeing the benefits of it and what it can do for us in terms of streamlining processes and speeding up and basically creating better outcomes for the client, that's the main thing that we're looking for.
Yeah, 100%. And what about training and development? Are you sort of delivering a lot of training and development to paraplanners as well? Because I know you've just taken on a paraplanner,
so
right?
I will be as the role develops. Obviously, as we bring in new paraplanners, dependent on their stage of paraplanning, I guess, how long they've been in the industry, I'll be offering training sessions to them, helping to build them up, get them through their exams if they need any extra support.
Used to be a international shampoo salesperson, didn't you?
I did indeed, yes. That was my first, well, I say my first job. My first job out of school was I worked in a deli selling meat and cheese.
Right.
And then didn't really know what it is I wanted to do. And through my next door neighbour, she put me onto a friend who was a international haircut seller. So I started selling shampoo. Fantastic.
The international shampoo seller to international paraplanner.
Yes, yeah, quite the change.
Was it good?
It was a good opportunity. Again, it was one of those things I knew nothing about shampoo. The first question I was asked when I walked in was, what shampoo do you use? And I said, shower gel. So it was like, threw me into the deep end. I needed to learn about shampoo, learn about hair. I'll try and link it back to paraplanning, actually. My first day as a paraplanner, I was thrown in, do a defined benefit transfer. I knew nothing of it. I passed my exams. I knew the technical stuff, but I didn't know what was included in that report. But you had to stick yourself in, get stuck in, learn the process and build it up.
Did selling shampoo sort of ensure you became head and shoulders above the rest?
You could say that.
I was massively trying to get head and shoulders in there then.
That worked well.
Brilliant. So how did you end up getting into paraplanning though? So what was your sort of journey into that? Because a lot of people struggle to get into paraplanning.
So I started as a financial administrator,
right?
Which was sort of doing the application forms, paperwork side of things. It was quite a mundane job. It is difficult. You've got to just get stuck in with it. But it helped me with my studies. When I started the administrator role, it was right, you need to get on this journey of starting your level 4 qualifications. So I did mine through the Chartered Insurance Institute. There's 6 exams, which I struggled with massively. I'm dyslexic, so I really struggled to obtain that or take the information from the books without losing the information at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I struggled to get it out and actually retain that information. So I was reading the book 5 times, writing buckets of notes, and failed my exams multiple times. But I stuck with it. And obviously, like, I'm here today and this is the opportunity that it's kind of given me. So
it's really, really interesting because I can imagine it being very difficult or tough to do a paraplanning role when you are dyslexic, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of elements that you've got to be able to concentrate on multiple different things, pull out certain bits of information. But I find now I know exactly what I'm looking for. It almost jumps from the page. Whereas before, where I was trying to learn from that page, everything was just muddled. I couldn't see the woods from the trees.
Did you have to learn some proven strategies that people with dyslexia that help people with dyslexia? Is it different person to person? Or?
I'd say different person to person. For me, like I said, it was read everything a million times and write a hell of a lot of notes, and just keep trying at the exams.
Isn't there like some colour thing you can put over?
You can, yeah, coloured paper or coloured glasses. It didn't really work for me.
Yeah.
But there's loads of different opportunities out there to
I know
help.
I know a financial planner who's dyslexic, and he said that was a massive help to him. The coloured pages. Yeah, very interesting, because that's challenging, right?
Yeah,
There must have been times you want to give up, right?
Oh, 100%. The amount of times I called my wife after failing another exam to say, look, do you know what? If I don't pass it next time, that's it. I'm done. I'm walking away from this and I'll go and do something else.
What about when you were in school then? Was that a struggle when you were in school as well?
Yeah, I struggled in school. Teachers always said I was brighter than I'm showing on paper, which is the story of a lot of people. I think it gets missed and you're the kid disrupting the room, or you're someone who's not paying attention because you're looking out the window or something like that. But it was more, I'm struggling. I need some extra support. But rather than knowing what was going on, I was just playing the fool.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds familiar. When did you find out?
I think I was I'm sure mum and dad got me tested maybe when I was like 11.
Okay, right.
Something like that.
Funny, my nan was diagnosed as dyslexic when she was in her 70s.
Wow.
So she didn't, all through that sort of period, she didn't really understand why she was struggling. And then he was like, yeah, you're dyslexic. She was like, oh my God, like at 70 odd years old.
Yeah. Gone through life without knowing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
And I suppose back then no one knew. No one was looking for it. And now it's much more prevalent.
So when we look at your paraplanning role at the moment, okay, where do you see yourself in like 5 years' time? Do you think about like a 5-year plan at all?
I never did until I came to Hoxton.
Okay.
I think it's a lot of people always ask those kind of questions. What do you want? Where do you want to be? What's next? And I think obviously the promotion I've had to head of UK is a massive opportunity. So I want to build out on that, make sure that our processes are super smooth. So from someone coming in as a brand new paraplanner, after that first week of inductions, they know, okay, I'm going to hit the ground on Monday. This is how Hoxton do it. Have everything in a smooth process, suitability report templates on point, and absolutely everything that's just super smooth for everyone.
Are you thinking about maybe implementing a career framework as well for paraplanning? Because I think I remember someone called Michelle on the podcast who runs eParaplan Connects. Mm-hmm. And she went through like her outsourced paraplanning company, and there was like multiple roles within it. There must have been about 5 or 6 different roles. And I've always said, like, I think the paraplanner role itself can be broken down into specific type job roles.
You could niche it out.
Yeah.
You could have a paraplanner who specializes on protection cases, or a paraplanner who specializes on DB.
Yeah.
We have a lady in our paraplanning team and she specializes just on the defined benefit transfers.
Yeah.
And then you've got protection. There's loads of these different elements that if someone wants to focus on that niche, you could do it.
Do you niche down on anything?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, the majority of the work that we write is pension transfers. I'm quite confident with pension transfers, offshore bonds, trusts, things like that. It's a lot of what we used to do, especially at Investec. We had a lot of offshore bonds and trusts. So that was something that I found interesting.
Yeah. Ever thought about becoming a financial planner?
It's been on the cards. It's something that I've thought, maybe why don't I take that step? But I love paraplanning. I really enjoy reading up on a client's situations, finding what's missing and putting a plan in place. I think as I mentioned to you before, it's like telling a story. So we read the fact find, we read the meeting notes, and we're like, okay, let's see, where does this client want to be in 10 years' time? Where are they now? How can we get them to that finishing point? And it's that kind of puzzle that I think appeases my brain. Like, let's figure it out. How can we get you to your end goal in the most suitable way possible?
I've always thought with paraplanning, when you aren't in the client meeting, for example, it's difficult to interpret the notes as not being biased.
Yes.
How do you deal with that?
Lots of questions and lots of challenge. A paraplanner's not there just to take orders from the advisor, like say, this is where I want to move this pension. It's we have to read the whole meeting, speak with the advisor and understand the client's situation. And then we discuss what the best outcome for that client is.
I think that voice note app as well, where it's going to take absolutely everything down and AI is going to assist in doing it out without biases, I guess. And
100%.
Instantly recognize opportunities where it can probably challenge.
But as you say, if a paraplanner is not in the meeting and something gets said, and their advisor then doesn't put it on the meeting note, we don't know about it.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're using this AI tool, everything gets recorded. If there's one snippet, could change the whole advice.
Yeah.
So that's what we need, and that's why we're using that company.
From a paraplanning perspective then, what about the Hoxton Wealth app? What do you think?
Brilliant. Fantastic. For a client to quickly look on their phone to see exactly where they are, exactly where their projections are going, and also see the benefit of our advice. They'll look at it now before meeting or before sitting down with the advisor. You can see your position. And then once we've implemented our changes, have a look at it again, and you can see where it's going to go.
It also feeds into our CRM, doesn't it?
Yes.
Matrix, which is built in-house. I mean, Hoxton, Chris, the team, very much invest in technology.
They do.
I think it's about 25 developers here in Dubai. And they're constantly looking to improve it. What do you think of that CRM? Do you think it's a slick bit of kit?
I think it's a slick bit of kit, and I think it will be even slicker. I think I've worked with other CRMs in the past, which are ready to go out the box, and it's got a lot of these options. But I've mentioned this to Mansell and to Jay. There's changes that can happen, and there's things that they will implement. And as I say, if you've got an idea and it will work and benefit the business, they are happy to do that.
Yeah, and I think as well, where it's been built for more of an international audience, that's what makes it unique.
Yes.
And in the UK really it's always been there, but it's quite new in respect of a growth perspective. Yeah. So bringing a paraplanner in where they perhaps didn't have as many paraplanners before, some of your experience as well, where you're looking at things and you can see the ways that things can be improved and you're not afraid to actually feed that back, right? It's really, really valuable. So you can make those changes that they might not have seen. And that's what I've found with Hoxton as well. They are very open to feedback, very open to doing things differently. I enjoy those conversations. I'm always kind of being quite creative. I'm always see problems a lot.
Well, I think that it was almost evident from my first week. I came in, did my inductions, and then let's write some reports.
Yeah.
And you look through the files, you look what's there and what's missing. And there were certain things that we need as paraplanners to write reports that just weren't being collected.
Yeah.
So I fed that back. The next week, we've produced a brand new meeting note that the advisors now all follow, and it gathers all the information that we need as a paraplanner to write that report. And it was instant. I said, this is missing. They were like, okay, let's get it in. Spread it out to the team, and everyone was on board.
And sometimes that can take forever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In a big company, say like your Investex, places like that, if you feed up, it's got to go through one person to the next person to the next person. Whereas it was like, okay, great idea, do it.
Yes.
And it's instant.
Speed and agility here, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what are the feedback from the advisors that are working with you since you've joined?
I hope it's good. I hope I've improved things for them. I think I have. But yeah, I think most of the feedback that I am getting is they're enjoying the change.
Yeah.
Like they've been doing things certain ways because that's the way they've always done it. Whereas now someone's come in with fresh ideas. They're happy to jump on board.
Yeah. Are you missing much from the UK at the moment?
It's a funny one. I'd say if you asked me a year ago, would I ever see myself living abroad? I would tell you not a chance.
Yeah.
I've always said it. I know Jonathan's always wanted to move abroad. And I was like, why? Why would you do it? But now I don't miss anything. There's not much. Obviously, I miss my family. I miss my friends. Maybe the rain every now and then would be nice. But I'm absolutely loving life out here.
There's a financial planner in the UK, quite a well-known guy called Warren Shute, who tagged me in a post this morning, and he's out having a winter walk, and it's really frosty, and the sun was coming up, and he's walking his dog in the countryside. Those
days I miss.
Oh my God, man. And that was like, I love that. Yeah. I love that fresh, cold, sunny morning in England. And
the UK office is actually, well, one of the UK offices, Jonathan's just opened is in Liverpool, which is where I'm from. Well, not from, but where my house is and where I lived for the last 10 years. And when I'm speaking to them, I can see out the background the city of Liverpool, and I do miss it. I miss that.
Yeah.
The people, the buzz, the feel of just being in the city.
British culture.
Exactly.
Yeah, you miss the British culture. I think you'll always miss that, but I think Christ, it's like, 7 hours on a plane?
Yeah,
and
it's not far.
At specific times of the year, it's actually quite cheap. Mm-hmm. It's quite costly at the moment. My wife's going back actually in December to the UK. It's like double the price.
Really?
Yeah, it's way more expensive at the moment. What's cool though, she's going out with my daughter to see her mum for a week.
Nice.
And then my brother the same day is coming here.
Oh, so you won't be alone for too long.
Yeah, so me and my brother are going to hang out for a week.
Nice.
Which I'm really, really looking forward to, because I actually miss my brother massively. You said like you're missing friends and stuff, right? I miss my brother. Obviously I miss my parents. And I always say the one thing I'm missing and is community. Mm-hmm. I had like a core group of friends, and I had them in specific places that I went. So if I went to a coffee shop, I had them there. Yeah. If I went to the gym, I had them there. Wanted to go for a run, I had people that I would go to. My specific neighbours that were around me. Yeah. And I didn't realise just how much I'd built a support network and of people that I could turn to when I wanted to do something specific or have a specific conversation or go for a nice walk or whatever it was. And they were all different age ranges and, male and female. And it was like, oh, okay. And I've come here and it's like, I haven't done that because I've been so head down in work. And don't get me wrong, I benefit here. I'm bossing it in work. Yeah. I'm loving it. I'm like, it's really feeding my growth mindset. Mm-hmm. I can obsess about work and I'm loving it. Yeah. But I definitely would say I need to build now a bit of community outside of work. So I need to go and find those tribes, if you like.
It is there here. I've noticed like the other day after work, I stayed in the office a bit late and then ended up at Topgolf with a group of dads.
Yeah.
So my wife's made friends through school or through new mums who have come to Dubai. There's a Facebook group. And then there was a group of the dads that we all went to Topgolf.
Yeah.
And it was just to meet new people, to talk about their journey over here, what they've liked, what they've disliked, everything like that. And I think living again, go back to the community that we live in.
Yeah.
We now know the neighbours. We now know my daughter's made friends with people who live on the same place. At the swimming pool, we see people we recognise every day. So it's a nice feel.
Yeah, we've met a few parents actually, and Isabella started to have play dates, which is really nice. In fact, one of the neighbours looked after Isabella when we went away
amazing.
a couple of days. So that was really, really nice. Indian couple. And we went around for Diwali,
yes,
which was fun.
Yeah,
we had a good time. But it's so multicultural and so international here. Like, I mean, the whole party was just everybody from different countries.
Yeah,
which was quite nice actually. I did enjoy it. I think I've just got to find my tribe in the sense of like I was really into my fitness in the UK, and since I've come here, I haven't really been as into it.
Yeah, I've dropped that. That's dropped off for me as well. I think we'd go to the gym, both me and my wife at the same time, lunch times when we were working from home, that kind of thing. Whereas now I'm out the house by 7 and I'm back at 7. It's a long day, but it's just getting into it. But you wake up and it's sunny. So what can you complain?
But this is the thing, and when I think about it, and I go back to, if I thought about going back to the UK, right, you always think about the things you miss. Oh, it's a crisp, sunny winter walk, and Christmas is going to be like that. No, it's not. No. It's going to be wet for 3, in the summer. You have that 1 or 2 sunny days in the summer, and you kind of really look forward to it, and it doesn't come.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas I literally opened my back door, I walked out into the balcony this morning, did my meditation and prayer over lovely. The marina, and the sun's coming up every single day, and there is something in that. It feels good. It does something to you to not think about the weather constantly, which you do in the UK.
It's a running joke, isn't it?
It's like what we talk about exactly, and it's so true.
Yeah.
As soon as you come out here, you don't.
No.
And if, people might get a bit pissed off with me posting the occasional picture of me at the beach or the desert or
but it's just different. Like I drive my daughter to school every morning, and the sun is beating through the window. She's got her sunglasses on. She's singing songs, and we drive past a camel farm. Yeah, like every day she sees camels and she thinks it's the best thing in the world. Yeah, like we drive past cows and sheep back home and she wouldn't bat an eyelid. Yeah, whereas camels in Dubai she thinks fantastic.
I'm keen to get out and actually do like in the desert they do like you can take your kids and
do the safari.
They do like a kind of like you'll go and find these things like snakes and stuff and scorpions and.
I didn't know we were going on like a June bashing thing at Christmas.
June bashing, that sounds quite good. Yeah, I'm going to do that at Christmas. I think they do carols in the desert.
They've got everything for everyone out here. Like whatever your religion, wherever you're from, there's something for you in Dubai.
Yeah, and it's actually quite chilled. Like people.
Everyone's open to sharing as well. Like celebrating Diwali with people we've never met before, inviting you into their house. Yeah. It's just a really nice place to be.
So you feel like you made the right choice?
Yeah, 100%.
Brilliant. Hey, listen, mate, thanks for sharing your Hoxton life today.
No problem at all.
It's inspired a few paraplanners to think about the international space, to think about Hoxton Wealth. Obviously, we are multi-jurisdiction. We're growing across the world. Yeah. Asia, America, Australia. We're looking for people of good quality, people like yourself, all over the place. Yeah. So it'd be amazing if anybody is interested in joining Hoxton Wealth. They could reach out to you if they're a paraplanner.
Yeah, find me on LinkedIn, that's fine. Yeah.
And they might not have a job opportunity right this second, but we'll certainly keep them in mind.
Yep, have some conversations, see where their appetite is, and if something comes up, we can come back to them.
And we're on the acquisition trail in the UK.
Exactly.
So there's going to be lots of vacancies.
Plenty of vacancies.
But I also love what you said about the Paraplanner-to-Advisor route out here. I think it's something we need to look at in a little bit more detail. And I'm having those conversations at the moment about the trainee wealth manager route and how we can change that. And I think Jacob also mentioned, he also thinks Paraplanner-to-Advisor is a really good route for the right person with the right structure in place. Yeah. So I really love the sound of that. So it's really, really good.
I think if you're sat underneath a good advisor as a paraplanner, you're going to learn good traits. And also being a paraplanner before making that step, you're going to be a good advisor. Yeah. I always say an advisor who's been a paraplanner is going to be a good advisor because they know what is required.
You're bang on, mate. You're bang on the money.
Very good.
Dave, lovely talking to you as per usual. No problem. Must get out and hang out on weekends.
Yes, definitely. Once that barbecue's delivered, we'll get some T-bones on the barbie.
T-bone steak, mate. Love a T-bone steak. Sounds brilliant. Thanks so much, mate.
No worries. Thank you very much.